Hey guys, it's your girl Chrissyb here and welcome back to my channel. While you're here in the beginning, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, turn on notifications, come hang out with your girl again. Today we are going to be doing just a little bit of complexion, but trying out Benefit's new Porefessional Hydrate Primer. So Benefit's Porefessional Primer, the original in that little greenish bluish tube, is a cult favorite for sure. A lot of people love that primer. If you have pores, helps minimize the look of pores, like a semi-matte finish. I actually personally hate that primer. I don't like that primer at all, really. I don't really feel like I have like major pore issues, so maybe that's why. But even when I use it on clients, like it's not my favorite pore primer. It's not like the one that I reach for. So they did just come out with a new addition to the pore primer family, because they have the original Porefessional, which gives you like a semi-matte finish. Then they have Porefessional, like the radiant one that comes in the pink box, that gives you like a glow brightness to the skin. And then they have Porefessional Matte Rescue, which is like a water gel formula if your skin is really oily. So now they've added one for normal to dry skin, which is amazing because my skin is very normal. So like the Porefessional and the Matte Rescue isn't something that I was like super interested in for myself personally. So now this Porefessional Hydrate, it says a hydrating face primer to minimize the look of pores. And then it also says oil-free, silky smooth, lightweight 12-hour hydration. So this is supposed to minimize the look of pores and fine lines, instantly moisturize and refresh, prime to help makeup stay put. It has hyaluronic acid and shea butter extract. So hyaluronic acid I absolutely love. I use The Ordinary's hyaluronic, but anything that has hyaluronic in it I generally tend to like. I just love what hyaluronic does for the skin. It really hydrates, seals in your moisture, plumps up the skin. So that's why I was like, okay, let me give this a try. But I use LimeLife by Alcone Botanical Foundation for the most part, and that foundation is a wax base. So anything that's like really silicone based or like beads up, which is usually these pore filling primers, it does not sit well with, because it sits on top of the skin versus absorbing into the skin. So the ultimate test of a primer is if it works well with my LimeLife Botanical Foundation, which is, if you're familiar with RCMA, is the same foundation. So if you want to see how this primer does in my complexion routine, keep on watching.
It's not a threat, it's a warning, be careful with me. Yeah, my heart is like a package with a fragile label on it, boy, be careful, careful.
Okay, so I already threw my brows on really quick, and they're not my best. It's funny, this is like the second video in like a week, I feel like, where I'm like, my brows aren't my best. However, I ran out of my pencil like mid-brow, one brow, so that's why I just switched to a totally different product. So it's all good. Okay, so let's go like right in. I feel like that was probably a lot. That was probably too much. So let's just blend that in, because I definitely was going to put more. So I will say right off the bat, the texture is definitely like slightly different than Porefessional. Like it still feels really smooth. I will say Porefessional feels super smooth because it is a smoothing primer. It still feels super smooth, but it doesn't feel as like thick, as heavy as the regular Porefessional. It smells good, which I like. It smells like fresh. And okay, so I'm already like loving this, because I feel like sometimes when you start to like rub in the Porefessional, which you're not supposed to, you're supposed to like tap it into the skin, fill the lines. Really, you're supposed to do that with any pore primer. But let's be honest, when we're doing our own makeup, like, are we really sitting there like, let me just tap this primer in? Like, no, we're we're rubbing that primer in for the most part. Like on an everyday, we're rubbing primer in. So I don't really put foundation on the forehead, but I'm just gonna do a little bit up here. And I'm just looking down into a mirror because I want to see like how it looks on the skin. And I'm actually pretty impressed. Like I even feel like just looking at the screen, like it kind of blurred me and made me look a little snatched already. I don't know if this is a good idea, but you know, I have lines under the eyes, so I'm gonna go a little bit heavier underneath the eye. Should probably see if it's really meant to be this close to the eye, but YOLO, right? It looks good on the skin. It looks really good on the skin actually, and it feels really good on the skin. So like I'm already impressed. I already have a good feeling about this. So let's just throw on some concealer like normal. So I just used Nars in the color Cafe, the Radiant Creamy Concealer, just a little bit under the eye and on the lid just to knock out the darkness that was happening there. I'll go in with my custom foundation and concealer palette from LimeLife. The foundation shade is DM3, I believe. I'm going to do it like I normally would do it. Same brush, same everything that I would use, which is a number 17 duo fiber brush from LimeLife. And let's see what happens. So I actually had to take a little bit of foundation out with my finger and just apply it to the face like that because the brush would not fit in the pan because my pan is looking a little empty. So I just applied it, which I apply it like that a lot anyway, and then I'm just going to take my brush and buff. Okay, so now let's go in with a little bit of a lighter concealer. So I'm going to use the same Nars in the color Amande now. So I'm actually going in and I'm adding my number 4 concealer from the custom palette as well. Only because it's actually what I normally highlight with, and I just want to make sure that this primer works well with what I use on a like quick everyday basis. For setting, lately I've really been into the Anastasia in Deep Peach. So I'm going to use the Anastasia loose setting powder. So let's contour a little bit with Tarte Shape Tape in the color Espresso. So after I blend the concealer for the contour, I like to just go around with the foundation brush and really make sure that it's all blending and like really nice on the skin. First impressions, I have to say that I really am feeling this primer. The foundation sat on it really nice. All the products are layering really nice. And I wanted to make this note before I put on the Perfect Color Powder to set the rest of the face, because whenever I put on the Perfect Color Powder, I tell you guys, my skin looks like a filter because that powder does that. But I feel like I have that look right now before putting on that powder. Like, it is so smooth, it is so nice. Let's set the rest of the face with the Perfect Color Powder from LimeLife by Alcone. Let's throw on some bronzer and some blush. I'm going to use my absolute favorites. I do not use any other bronzer or blush ever, pretty much. Number 7 bronzer. The blush colors I always forget, but of course I'll drop them in the description for you guys. Okay, so this is the finished complexion look. I really like it. I'm gonna live with it for a second. I have to go get my son from school, run some errands, so I'm gonna come back in probably a couple hours, let you know my final thoughts of it. But for now, like, let's get up close on this skin. I've been out and about, I've lived in this a little bit, and I really like it. It's holding up really well. Still look really smooth, really flawless. So I am definitely a fan of the Porefessional Hydrate Primer. They have it in, this is the full size, but they also have like a mini version for $13. I got it from Ulta. I'm sure you can get it from Sephora as well. So try it out. I think it's definitely worth it. I like it a lot. I'm definitely gonna keep it on my filming table so it'll go in the rotation, especially with the winter being in full force. It's colder, it's about to start snowing and things like that. This is good. This is nice for the skin. I do feel like it blurred. I would say it hydrated as well. Like, my face feels pretty good. So overall, love it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you are not subscribed, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, get notifications, come hang out with your girl again. As always, you guys are amazing. Mwah.